What's up, guys? Gumby coming back to you. Today what we're gonna discuss that I've always told you guys, electrical. How to wire up a car just with basic stuff. Like, I don't run any wiring under my dash. I keep it nice and simple. It's a race car, remember fellas? Even the way you're gonna be seeing it right now or how it looks right now, I've been doing work on it. I've been removing a lot of unnecessary plugs. But what I'm gonna show you today, guys, let's go more into it. What I'm running for a ECU, I wanted to keep it simple, guys. I wanted to run a OEM engine harness. I'm using an Acura CL Type S auto harness, I believe like an O2. When it comes to using a harness like this, fellas, look for a mint harness, uncut, something unmolested. I wanted to keep it like this just so I could have something and it could just be a nice plug and play. Also, when I wanted to do this, let's show you. AEM, they're gonna offer you, or it comes with a D plug. And remember, I wanted to use auto ECU because my engines are, I use the auto ones. You need to make sure when you choose your ECU, I choose this one because I'm running an auto engine. I'm running a J35A3, which comes out of auto car. Even I had a J32A2, but it came out of the auto Acura, the CL. The reason you need to make sure it's because of the crank sensors and the cam. Crank sensor and cam. If you don't have the right ECU for your motor, it's not gonna work right, fellas. So going back into it, like I said, nice plug and play setups. You know, everything goes in. Let me show you guys. Pretty much, you got A, and then you got B, A, B, C, and then you got D. D, I'll show you right now. D, you're gonna be wiring up D for your transmission. You could use a J series transmission. I use a K series. Cause car, remember fellas, J to K. But everything on AEM, on their booklets, or you could download them, it's gonna give you the pinouts. Even if you guys need anything, shoot me a comment. But the way I have mine set up, like I have these for O2, I run, going to the gauges, my gauges, you can see these wires. Pretty much this is all my wiring that are gonna be going to my ECU. Like I run an innovated, I run a dual O2 sensor from Innovated. I run it for bank 1, bank 2. I run an AEM water and I run an AEM oil temp. I have them set up that I have my signal sending so I could data log. I have them that they're wired up to my ECU. You're gonna have to buy the A plug. If you guys need anything, man, hit me up. I could build you a setup. Like on my A plug, I have extras for my O2, my RPM. I even have it, I'm gonna have a check engine light that I'm gonna set up like a red light somewhere in my dash, that whenever the check engine light wants to hit that light on my dash panel, it's gonna be a red one. So I'll be able to indicate or know whenever I have an issue or something comes up. Because remember, I don't run a OEM cluster, nothing. I got rid of all that shit, man. Remember, because race car. But even also, I have my nitrous, I have my arming, and I have my input. So, or sending. I have my sending for solenoids, and I have my arming. If you guys need these, hit me up. I could give you the pinouts. I could help you guys out with all that. Real easy. But to even show you, the main critical thing is gonna be this, fellas. This is, since I'm not running, like a lot of people said, you need to be running an under dash harness, a conversion harness. I remember, everything what you see right now, that's my wiring. I have nothing else. Later on, if I wanna wire up like boost or anything, same shit, what you see, you add a pin, you run it to your solenoid, easy as fuck, man. But if you're gonna want to power up your car, make sure even not fry your fucking ECU. Reason I know that, I fucking did it. Pretty much on, this is a C01, your C101 plug. I know they don't show a lot online, fellas. Like, I know a lot of people, I did it, I tried to Google. You try to Google plugs for an Acura model, they don't come up, fellas. What I did, I just searched up because I looked. If you look at these plugs and if you worked on cars, they look the same shit, like a Civic, like anything OBD2A, OBD2B. You know, it's the same plug like those fellas. Literally, if you Google Honda Acura CO1 plug, it's gonna pull up a diagram. Like I said, I'll try to put it in the description. Just comment. But pretty much all I have on this plug wired up, fellas, these are what power up my car. I have 5 wires. There's 5 wires that are gonna be powering up, like, let's say, the coils, your injectors, your alternator. There's I could list them, but pretty much the way I did it on your diagram of your CO1 plug, there's gonna have, if like I said, any guy like me, garage built Honda, on the diagram you're gonna find it's gonna give you your ignition ones, the ones that you just power, and the black one's for starter. These fellas, you could buy any. The one I chose to do my switch panel, I went with a nice one. They're not too expensive. I went with the ARC 8000. I have just my main ones: starter, ignition, fuel, fan, headlights, which power up my gauges, bottle warmer, nitrous, and purge. There's cheaper ones, but I went with this one. It's real nice and neat, fellas. You could even look. I've mounted it. I mounted it right here. You can mount it. I mounted it even on my upper harness, on my upper cage bar. You know, wherever you can mount it if you have a dash. You know, they're very nice and neat, man. For the price, they're affordable. 200 and something. But I like their switch box. You know, everything, the relays built in. They even have fuses. Real nice and simple. On your starter, you always have to have it, I believe, on number 1. So we have number 1. Even also, go back to this. I like it because I could run it for 12-volt system and 16-volt. It's a good thing, you know, race car not running with alternator. But anyway, going back, starter goes to 1. Ignition, these red ones will go to 2. And pretty much once you do those, what I thought, I did that and the car ran. But then the main ones that are real crucial, fellas, are gonna be this little motherfucker. This little one is gonna be a chassis engine harness, or like to ECU. This one's pretty much, I'll go back over here. This goes in the car, or this is in the bay. This is your other end to your harness. So when this plugs in to here, boom, your harness is gonna have power. This goes to your starter under the car. Remember, even going back, the way this one goes to my ECU, but this is for transmission. This one, you can see the other end, I wired it up. K-series transmission goes to my VSS. But then, like I said, your ground, this is the main ones. When you want to do a wiring setup like how I'm doing, no fuse box, no underdash, you need this one. This is a ground. You run this to a chassis ground inside, anywhere, just a good solid ground to your chassis. Coming back on your engine harness side, you're gonna find your CO. This is a CO2 plug. I don't know why on Acura they swap them back. They'll say this is the CO12 and this is CO1. I don't know why. Don't get confused on that, fellas. Just look at your plugs. Count the holes in the back, and it's fucking common sense, fellas. But this one, this is your other ground that's gonna, like I said, when I first did this, I didn't have these on my car. The car fired up, and it ran for a good, let's say 6 startups, but then I ended up fucking up my ECU. I fried it. Long story short, you need these grounds. So there's, on the CO2 plug, you're gonna look for the brown and yellow. That's a ground that you're gonna run it off your engine harness ground side. Once you run those and you have those grounds, you're good, you're solid. Once you do like what I'm explaining, real fucking easy, fellas. Your car's gonna run, you're gonna be able to do anything. Also on mine, I'll go into another video. I run a a Mustang TPS, so I put my plug for the TPS for my Ross, and I run AEM sensors. I run an AEM map and an air intake. So real easy, same thing. You find your pinout locations, you see the diagram on the plugs, D-pin, or you get your tool. Pretty much that's it. You know, the way the wiring, I'm pretty sure you guys don't need to see that, to power headlights, pump and everything, basic shit. If you guys need any more info, man, follow my channel, and deuce out.